To Don Terris from John Weaver, Roseman, California. Regards to the video that you made about feeling helpless concerning about the situation. No, my granddaughter had already been going through the process long ago. As soon as they got the diagnosis originally, it's already started. I know the situation concerning about how to deal and how not to do it because my own mother and my own brother. I already seen deteriorations with my other family members, but this was the hardest damn thing, I'll tell you. We saw our grandmother deteriorate in front of us and we didn't even realize her. She had stroked out. And my mother had to do 24/7, and me, growing up as a teenager, I had to deal with school and had to deal with grandma and had to deal with ma at the same time. For fun. But the grieving had already been there because half the brain was there and the rest of it wasn't. She wasn't going to get any better. So Ma had already started it a long time ago. I mean, she already had an argument, and Grandma went down to see her kids, and then I guess the stress or something got to her, and it was really hard on all of us. Ma had to hold it all in. Even going to work, she had to hold it all in. She tried to laugh her way out of it, but I think it was slowly eating her up, and seeing everybody else in her family dying on her left and right, not to mention friends. It was just eating her up until she was in her 70s and she just withered away in the bed. My brother kept trying to tell me about how to deal with the grieving situation. Shit, I didn't know. And how the hell did he know? He wasn't grieving as much. He was holding it in like everybody else. The thing is, on my channel, Don, I talk about this thing on a constant basis. Well, besides politics, but grieving, mourning, how I've been going through, how the family's been going through, how my own observations regarding the situation. Yeah. Does it make me a Leonard academic? Nope. There's no academic in this one. It's experience, unfortunately. Everyone has to handle it in their own way. If they want to be strong, they'll be strong. But if not, we have to let them to be one thing, human. They need to cry. They need a bawl on their own time. Right now, it's a shock and all, and they're getting through the marriage. They're getting through the marriage of the mourning and grieving and death. It's the honeymoon stage. I didn't want to see it when Ma died. I didn't want to see any of it. I thought she was going to get better. They've been trying to comfort me on that one. Yeah, big comfort, big brother. You were the one closer to Ma, 8 years young. Actually, I'm the 8 years youngest to him. Well, rest in peace, guys. But I'll tell you something. I think David was dying even before I realized it. Looking back at the memories and looking back at how he's been acting. We kept trying to deny it and hide the damn grief, but it was eating us inside like a damn poison. Like a cancer. But I didn't realize it until it was too late. Day was sudden and acute. Boom. He's pleading for me one night, actually one morning. I'm barely waking up and he wants me to call 911 because he can't breathe. It wasn't turning blue, but if it was going to be turning blue, I was going to be doing CPR in his asshole right then and there, or rescue breathing. Next thing I know, we're putting him into a gurney. He's trying to make jokes. As I'm trying to go through the emergency room, going through the process and waiting. And then I get called in, and there he is. That's really when it started hitting. I should have been doing the morning hell of a lot earlier. But it sounds like the granddaughter's already started it without even realizing it, and now it's just a shock and awe hitting her. It's like a precursor. It's like P waves and F waves of an earthquake. You're really not ready for the damn thing until it's ready to rock and roll on you. Or if you want to look at it as a hurricane analogy. Use that as a metaphor. You see the storm clouds coming up, but you're really not quite so sure how it's going to hit you until it hits you hard. Bang. There are no jokes about this. There are no humorous lines to make something funny about losing someone. And I also heard about the platitudes left and right. How strong, how proud. You know, it's for them. Don, when we hear things like that, it's for the ones who are saying it. It's for their well-being. It's not for the other person's well-being. I'd rather be seeing the person shaken. I'd rather be seeing this person just trying to cope and struggle and survive, because I would relate more with that person. Everything turned on automatic until there's a moment when everything else just collapses and they need to get it out. I mean, they really need to go crying and bawling their heads off. I'm not about to say it's okay. I'm going to say wig it out, get it off. Welcome to the journey. I keep running into people I keep borrowing shoes from as they kept going through this damn journey of theirs. Grieving and mourning, we got a club going on. You're in it. You've already been through it, but I know you had a lot of people trying to give you the platitudes. I'm just going to say, Don, you got the emotions going through you right now. You got the triggers. Go through them, dude. Don't medicate. Just feel it out. Ride it. Be a miserable, sorry son of a sea dog. I don't smile as much unless I feel something that's going to be totally humorous and I'm in a position of not being depressed or grieved or anything else. When I'm actually in that particular stage, I'm actually able to focus, laugh, but then I know the seriousness is still behind. It's like dealing with Robin Williams, dude. Want to make everybody happy, but his own self is miserable. Because he knows what it's like to be miserable, and he wanted everyone else to be happy. Me, I just want everyone else to be real. You're miserable, you're feeling it, you're angry about things, but you can't get it out because you don't know where to throw the anger out. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? There's only one reason. Because. That's it. Deal with it. Sucks. Don, you hadn't been through it. I've been through it as a young kid. I'm not just talking about witnessing. I'm talking about going through the damn process itself and coming back. So it gives me a little bit of an unusual perspective at these things. Not like an adult, but as a child growing up and fearing death, life, metaphysics. But I had to be involved in the damn thing in the first place. I don't even know how to relate to God when I was a kid. There was somebody out there, but I didn't know who the hell it was, what it was. Because they tossed my ass out of heaven. 3 times up and 3 times back, trying to get my own damn plumbing system working. Every time I kept talking to the Pharisees, to the clerical, they always gave me the damn literature, but they didn't talk about what they went through if they actually been through it. But then again, it would be the adult versus the childhood version of the damn thing. So they really couldn't help me out with it very much. I had personal experiences trying to reach out to this power, this entity, and then, yeah, changed the viewpoint for a short time. A little bit of a reassurance. Maybe a little bit of a spiritual hug. And then I had to throw back into the fray again, trying to deal with life on life's terms. About a couple of times that happened to me. As an adult, forget it. As a kid, yeah. But I had to deal with a granddaughter who's already been grieving. She's already gone through the process. I mean, she's already gone through the pre-trials of it. And now she's got to be dealing with the shock and awe of the situation when it really hammers her out. As I said before, hurricane. The marriage is starting. The wedding bills to the grief in the morning are about to begin. No joke. It seems like in life, Don, this is what we deal with, and we have social stigma that tells us otherwise. It'll be okay, it'll be okay. No, we got to deal with the reality of it. It will never be as it was a long time ago. We have to deal with the adjusted reality. We have a loved one. That's it. And now we got to deal with the loss and the pain inside. And we have to walk through life. And we have to struggle every single day and every single moment. And most mornings, we may have been able to cheat grieving and mourning. And try to take as much enjoyment out of the moment of the life we got. Realizing that in a short time it's going to be our turn next. But we still have to save her life, because if we can't save it right now, we're not going to be able to save it until, well, we're not going to be able to save her, period. But I am still going to say, the only thing you can do, Don, is give her a hug. That's the only thing you have. If you're going to be a pillar of support, be a pillar of support. Don't say a word. Just give out the hug. That's your only option right now. And understand that she's going to be walking through it. And you got to tell her to restrain. You got to tell her to restrain. It's going to kick her ass. It's going to rock her world more. I know I've lost too many people this way. I've lost aunts, uncles, friends, pets, grandmother, mother, brother. I thought I'm an expert on this damn thing. And being through the process, you think I'd be a graduate on this damn thing. There is no graduation from it. It's just dealing with it. I had to be an unemotional robot half the time by shutting off all those damn pain and feelings and everything else as I was growing up and dealing with adult things. Working my ass off left and right. Going through schools and I didn't even focus on the damn pain or any other triggers that come by. It was not until I lost Ma that the triggers really became apparent, and then after my brother 5 years later, holy crap, it's been non-stop on that one. Therapy for me. But I deal with it. I grieve with a hell of a lot of people. I mourn with them. I sympathize with what's going on with them. I get triggered myself. I go somewhere private and cry my eyeballs out and plead to God not to take away the damn pain. Just forgive me for having it. Forgive me for going through the crying sessions. Everyone else expects me to be something else. I can't be what they expect me to be. What I can be for others is just there. Say, I know where you've been. I know how you're going through it. I know. I'll offer the hugs. That's the only thing I can do. There's nothing they can do to take away the pain. Unless, of course, they're going to go through drugs, alcohol, God knows what else they're going to be doing physically, but the pain is still there. You can't fill the heart with that kind of void. Of course, they're going to be saying, well, stretch out to Jesus. No. If you got that close relationship with the Almighty, be my guest. But if not, it's a constant struggle for survival. People will tell the griever and what techniques to use, if they're going to be willing enough to use them. But if they're not going to be willing enough to use them, the only thing you can do is just be there. Just be there. I wish I could be there further. I wish I could be there for you. I have very few people out here being for me. I'll tell you one thing more about grieving and mourning. It turns you into a leper and a pariah at the same time. You're a leprous pariah. You got this stigma around you that you're grieving, you're mourning, and you're no damn fun for anybody. I've discovered that one. You isolate more and more from people. They wonder whether or not you're still alive or not. And I've had very few people chasing after me to see if I'm still alive or still existing. And the reason why I do the videos is to let them know. I'm still in pain. I'm still in mourning. I'm going to be this way until the day I die. But I'm still going to deal with the days I got. I'm going to deal with them the best I can. That's all I can do. I don't care what anyone else is trying to give me instructions on how to live their life. Screw them. That's their life. That's not mine. Mine is survival. And if I was talking to the granddaughter at this point over here, you're in a lot of company with people who have gone through this thing before. Some of them got their own techniques. But you, my dear, have to find your own technique. You have to find someone who has that support and that hug that you're going to need. And then you're going to have to find the strength to get through it every single day of your life. Some days are going to be a pain in the ass, and other days you'll deal with it. And then you wake up and have to deal with it all over again the next day. But you don't worry about the next day. You worry about today, just for today. And Don, please, if I can beg one favor, just tell her that. deal with the day that she's got. Deal with a minute. Sometimes you have to take it a day at a time. Sometimes it's a minute at a time. And just breathe and realize you're human. This is what it is to be human. And another thing, Don. Animals. The animal kingdom goes through this. There are types of animals out there, both aquatic and physical, or actually land, who go through the grieving process. Some mate for life, and others, they'll get another mate if they can, if they're biologically tuned to it or if they're emotionally tuned to it. Other than that, they're singles, and they'll deal with family. I needed to get this out, and I needed to talk to you about this one, Don. I'll send it through your regular email and also through the link, actually through your video there. We'll talk more, my friend.